What's going on, Headliner Nation? Hopefully everybody's doing well out there. Welcome back to the Draft.com studios. Today we're talking again our short series on breaking down players by their current ADP, whether we're buying or selling them. We're going to get that into in just 1 second, but after this video is over, if you have a quick minute, head over to our website, thefantasyheadliners.com. A lot of other great information over there to check out, plus our draft guide is for sale. And you can see this sweet Alvin Kamara jersey hanging over my shoulder. We're going to be giving it away to somebody who purchases one of our draft guide. If you've already purchased one or you purchased one all the way up through August 15th, you're entered to win. So go over to the website, check it out. It's almost 500 pages of straight fantasy football fire to help you dominate here in 2019. But now that I'm out of breath and before I waste any more time, let's break down the fourth round, Kyle. Who we got starting off here in the fourth?
Before we start the fourth round ADP, Jake, it's hella fire.
Oh, that's right.
Remember
it is.
that.
Hashtag hella fire.
Hella fire. We're going to get shirts with that on it.
Yes,
so starting out the fourth round now, 4.01. Carryon Johnson, who has been in the news a lot lately, not necessarily just because of him, but because of the release of Theo Riddick. So with that being said, I'm buying Carryon Johnson here at 4.01. I love this value for him. I think this is perfect value, though. I have a feeling that it's going to start to rise here quickly, but if you can still get him at the beginning of the fourth round, excellent. Since 2014, Theo Riddick's targets in the passing game, 50, 99, 67, 71, 74. That's a lot of potential targets that Carryon Johnson could take in the passing game this year, making him a great half PPR or PPR running back.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, I can expect this to rise here in the coming weeks. I think the closer we get to the season, his ADP could creep into the third round. That's when I start to get a little bit worried, depending how high up he goes. But right now, in the fourth round, absolutely, with that potential volume left behind by Theo Riddick, Carryon Johnson is somebody who I wasn't high on earlier in the offseason, but now I like the value, and I'm definitely worth taking a chance on him just for the passing upside alone.
4.02 is Josh Jacobs. And Jake, you mentioned Josh Jacobs in a do not draft running back video a while back, and you really broke down why we have worries. I'm selling him here just because he doesn't have that profile coming out of college that a lot of other backs have. Yes, the situation is there. Yes, it could be a really good situation, but is he going to hold up? Is he going to produce? Are they going to have to pass too much? A lot of question marks still for me.
Yeah, absolutely. And I broke it down, like you said, in that video a little bit better, but I mean, you have a below average offensive line, a below average defense, and you pair that with them bringing in, an Antonio Brown and Tyrell Williams. They drafted Hunter Renfrow. I mean, there's a lot of passing options there, and Derek Carr is very underrated in the passing game. I know a lot of people can't stand Derek Carr and think that he absolutely sucks, but he's not all that bad. I expect him to take a step forward this year, and Josh Jacobs just being unproven. There's a few other guys in this round that I feel are a little bit safer at this point. I'm not saying the kid's not talented. I'm just not willing to risk it for the biscuit here in the fourth round.
Here at 4.03, we're starting a little bit of a wide receiver run that has 3 wide receivers that I really love. And if you watch this channel a lot, you know that Jake and I agree that going heavy running back to begin a draft, an RB wide receiver or RB wide receiver, RB, whatever it may be, a lot of my targets for my wide receiver 1 or wide receiver 2 have been coming in this round. And right now we have Stefon Diggs at 4.03. I believe he's the wide receiver in Minnesota. I think Adam Thielen is good. I think he's a little bit less good than what he has been the last couple of years. And I think Stefon Diggs takes a huge step forward and becomes a huge playmaker this season.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually just put him in a video earlier here in the week, and Stefon Diggs is going to be the big-time playmaker in that offense. I love Stefon Diggs. I think the touchdown upside is going to be there. Thielen's still going to get his. He's still an above-average, talent at the position. But Stefon Diggs, you guys kind of saw at the end of 2018, started to take a step forward, and this is a kid that has all the talent in the world. He's going to get the opportunity now. I love Stefon Diggs, and I'm buying him all day long in the fourth round.
All right, 4.04 is going to be David Montgomery from the Chicago Bears. And for a while, he was my running back 1 in this draft. I bumped Miles Sanders ahead of him and moved him back a little bit, but he landed in a really good landing spot. And I know Cohen being there, a lot of people are still taking a look at him in those half PPR leagues. But David Montgomery is going to get his. He's going to get it on the ground, and I fully believe he's going to get a little bit of work in the passing game as well. I think David Montgomery has a legit running back 2 upside to him this year. And if you miss on a couple of those running backs in the first few rounds, I think this is a good running back 2 to stash on your team.
I like David Montgomery, and I really, really want to buy him, and I'm going to buy him here, but part of me is a little bit worried. I mean, is it just me? I'm having flashbacks, Kyle. I see David Montgomery's name, and I think Royce Freeman. And I just can't get away from it. I mean, this is the same type of situation that we thought Royce Freeman was going to have. Do we fall into the same trap again with David Montgomery? The talent is there. The situation is perfect. I love the offense that he's going into. He has all the talent in the world. I just don't want to overhype it and get too excited and then be, severely disappointed. I'm going to buy him only for the potential upside. And plus, we always talk about going running back heavy, like you said. He's not going to be somebody that I have to rely on. However, if I do go David Montgomery here, I'm going to be either going another running back in the 5th, or he's going to be my 3rd at this time. I don't want to have to go in week 1 of the NFL season reliant upon having to start him in order to have him have a big game for me to have a chance to win week 1.
To put your mind at ease, Jake, I think there's a big difference in the head coaches, though. Vance Joseph for Royce Freeman compared to Matt Nagy for David Montgomery. One of those guys definitely knows how to use his running backs.
Let's hope so. If he doesn't, we'll blow him up on Twitter.
4.05 is going to be Julian Edelman from the New England Patriots. And I was going to put him as a buy here, but I do have some concerns about the finger. This past week, he showed up at one of his camps, and he has a finger issue right now that he's working through, and there's a potential that he's going to miss a few weeks because of that. So does he get off to a little bit of a slower start? I do think that a lot of people have him a little bit higher rank than what I would have right now, just because they look at the amount of targets he got towards the end of last season after coming back from that suspension and think that he's going to get that all year long. But I think this is a New England Patriots team that really focuses on the run game this year.
All right, so before the show started, I told you that I was going to agree with you and sell Julian Edelman. But I'm feeling a little bit, spicy.
Switch it up.
Yeah, I'm feeling spicy. I'm buying everything today, it feels like, because you know what? The more I sit here and think about it, I mean, if he misses time, we're only talking about a week or two in order to get back arguably the best option in the Patriots offense going forward. He's going to be the number 1 target in that offense, and I do agree with you that they're going to focus more on the running game. But if Sony Michel isn't 100%, I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, Julian Edelman's going to get his targets. The problem is you may have to go through the first week or two in order to get him 100% healthy, but there's so much depth at the wide receiver position this year. I think there's somebody else out there that could be a nice stopgap for you for 2 weeks or so until he comes back, and then all of a sudden you have your solid wide receiver 2 back in your lineup. I'm buying it.
And the reason I'm selling is because there's a few guys coming up that I would take ahead of him. But Julian Edelman, if you push him back to the 5th, I would buy him there. Just don't love it in the 4th because of some other guys I have ranked ahead of him.
Oh, yeah. We have a few guys coming up here that I would definitely love that have zero concerns in this round.
Yep. 4.06 is Mark Ingram. And Jake did a must-have video on Mark Ingram a while back and really dove into the statistics that show you why he has such the potential to be a great value and potential league winner for a lot of people this year. Now, do we think he's going to be a running back 1? No, but I think Mark Ingram, because of all of the upside when it comes to the running game and how much running they're going to do this year, whether it be quarterback or running back, because of that upside on the ground, 100% a safe running back 2 for me. So I will buy him in the 4th round.
Yep, I'm buying him also. Obviously, I made a video telling you to buy him. Anyway, I mean, I dove deep into Mark Ingram, which I know sounds awkward, but I did. I mean, I went into a lot of the stats there, and everything is pointing to him having the volume, and that's really all you can ask for. These guys all have risks. That's why they're in the 4th round, not in the 1st or 2nd. But that type of volume that he could potentially see, 200-plus carries in an offense that likes to run the ball, he's obviously going to be the leader in the clubhouse for goal line carries. Yes, Justice Hill is there and Gus the Bus. They have a lot of options, but Mark Ingram was brought in to be the lead running back here. I don't think they want Lamar Jackson to run maybe as much as he was last year to keep him healthy. I'm buying Mark Ingram here in the 4th round. I think he could be a solid high-end running back 2 for your roster here.
Let's talk about the next 2 guys as a whole, 4.07 and 4.08. Brandin Cooks and Robert Woods. Who is your Los Angeles Rams wide receiver 1? Honestly, even though I have Woods a little higher than Cooks this year because I think he's a little bit safer, even with Cup coming back, and that's a different story for a different time. With these 2 guys, I will buy them both here in the 4th round happily. I don't care which one I get as long as I get one of them.
Yeah, I mean, I like both of them too. I think I have Cooks 1 spot higher than Woods, so it's really back-to-back. It's not a huge difference, but I mean, just Robert Woods alone may be a little bit more PPR safety wise, but I think that big playability, that home run ability, it lies with Brandin Cooks. And depending on what number wide receiver this is for you, your number one, your number two, whatever it is, I think his upside is a little bit higher. He's had 4 straight 1,000 yard games. It doesn't, or 1,000 yard seasons. 1,000 yard games would be really impressive, but 1,000 yard seasons is almost equally impressive. He just gives you that home run ability, that solid wide receiver one that you can build around. I'm taking Cooks over Woods, but I have nothing bad to say about either one of them.
4.09 Phillip Lindsay, and I'm selling him here. And it's not because I don't like Phillip Lindsay. I just think that we are going to see a much bigger season from Royce Freeman than what we did last year. We just mentioned it a minute ago. I've also done a video where I've talked a little bit more about Royce Freeman and how, I mean, the second most stacked boxes of any running back this past year. He's going to see less of those because he now has a coaching staff in place that I believe will use him a little bit better and help run a defense that is a little bit more, or an offense that's a little bit more stable. So I'm not going to buy him here because I'd like to get him a little bit later. I still do think that he has tremendous value in a PPR league, though.
Yeah, mine has an asterisk next to Phillip Lindsay here. I'll buy him as long as he's my number 3, which is kind of hard because, I mean, we're in the 4th round, which means 3 of your first 4 picks are going to be running back. But if that's the case, I'll take a chance on it because I do think Royce Freeman sees more opportunities this year. Phillip Lindsay is a great talent, a great story. Love to watch the kid play, but I do think that there's a little bit more of that split this year. I'll buy him as long as he's my number 3. Otherwise, I'm passing.
Yeah. At 4.10, Chris Carson coming in from Seattle, and I've got him bumped back just a little bit as well. So a lot of these guys I'm selling right now isn't because I don't like them. I would just prefer to get them a little bit later, even if it is in the next round or two. Chris Carson kind of the same way. And the reason is because I think he's one injury away from losing his job to Rashad Penny. And I think Rashad Penny is going to be a guy that sees a lot of playing time anyway this year. So is it more of a split backfield? If it is, Chris Carson may only be a running back 3. He might not be able to get up to those running back 1 type number or running back 2 type numbers that we saw last year.
The only reason that I'm buying Chris Carson is volume. I mean, Seattle is going to be one of the top rushing teams again in the league based off of volume alone. No more Mike Davis there in the backfield. Yes, Rashad Penny is going to get more work. I can see him really absorbing the carries that Mike Davis had last year. And I know it's a big risk to go out there with Chris Carson and say, oh, well, if he stays healthy, because he's a violent runner. I mean, he's opening himself up for an injury on almost every time he touches the ball. But the volume is going to be there, and we say it with everybody. If they can stay healthy, he's going to produce once again. I'll buy Chris Carson. And for those people who are asking in the comment section, well, do you handcuff him with Penny? No, because I think Penny's too close in draft capital to take 2 players from one team that close together. Kind of hurts your overall team. So I'll take a shot on Carson, but if I miss on Carson, you better believe I'm grabbing Penny later on.
4.11, we run up to Kenny Golladay now. So the reason I'm selling him, and as a Lions fan, it's hard for me to sell him because I do like him. I think he's a really good player, but I think we're going to see a lot more from Marvin Jones again this year. And again, we've talked about it a lot already. The run game. They're going to run. And I also think adding TJ Hawkinson, even though I don't think he's in for any type of a huge year.
I was just hawking. Get it? You get it?
I was like, what is that?
Just
anyway,
Hawking,
TJ Hawkinson, now that he is there, I do think he is going to take some of those red zone looks away from Kenny Golladay potentially. So I do have him again, just a little bit behind. I'm not selling these guys because I hate them. I'm just selling them because I like a little bit better value on them.
That's okay. I'm going to sell him because I don't like him. I mean, that's what it comes down to. I mean, Kenny Golladay had a great season last year. Not taking anything away from him. He's just over 1,000 yards. But it took him a lot of looks, a lot of opportunities, and there was nobody there to compete with last year. Golden Tate was traded away. Marvin Jones was hurt. There was no tight end there really to have to worry about. And he still barely, got over that 1,000-yard mark. I'm not buying. I think Marvin Jones is a lot better value, like you said earlier. TJ Hawkinson, I'm going to try to stay away from in fantasy unless I don't have a choice. But Kenny Golladay, I think he just sees, inconsistencies from week to week just because Marvin Jones, I think Marvin Jones only played 9 games last year and still had 5 touchdowns in those games. I'm selling here on Kenny Golladay. Give me Marvin Jones later.
And to round out the 4th round now, we've got Sony Michel from New England, and This is a guy, he started training camp on the PUP list and now he's magically off of it really quickly. So, what's going on there? How healthy is he? Is he 100% right now? I don't know. And that's why I'm not going to take him here. And to be quite honest with you, other than James White in a PPR or half PPR league, it's hard for me to invest in any of these running backs right now out of New England. I think you're going to see a lot of looks, a lot of different guys lined up all over the place. Sony Michel, he's going to get those goal line attempts, those short yardage 100%, but can he stay healthy all year? And how much touches does he lose throughout a game to any of these other guys if the hot hand is the one that they go with?
Yeah, I mean, personally, outside of James White, I'm not too interested. I mean, I may take a stab on Damian Harris if he falls late in drafts, maybe. But yeah, Sony Michel, great talent. Can't trust the knee. I mean, we knew when he was drafted he was going to have knee problems. Not even going to attempt it here in 2019. I'll let that be somebody else's headache. I'm selling him also. That was the fourth round. I mean, that went really fast. It feels like it went really fast. I hawked up something. I mean, I feel better, but I got that out of the way. But you guys may disagree with a few of these. We want to talk about that. We want to make this an open discussion. We're one of the most interactive channels on YouTube, so put it down in the comment section. What do you feel about these guys right now, currently in the fourth round ADP-wise? Looking forward to having some great conversations back and forth with you guys. Don't forget, head over to our website, thefantasyheadliners.com. Check out our draft guide. Get yourself signed up to enter to win this Alvin Kamara autographed jersey. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your week. We're having more videos of these coming on with the future rounds, so make sure you're staying tuned. Have a good one. Thanks.